This is our paranormal podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Brian Mersall and Sean Gilmore.
Oh, what's that?
Oh,
the saga continues this week.
yes.
Oh, man, with Barb. Except now Barb is no longer free. Barb is now in a glass football case.
It's true. Well, hey, to be fair, I mean she's more free.
Yeah.
Than the tombstone case that she was in. So she was traveling around, and she's going to be traveling around a lot more on our investigations. Really, really free on investigations.
Yes.
And when we have like events and get-togethers, such a true freedom here in Ohio. So we're all excited.
Yes. I'm so excited, and we have Connie here from
yes.
Your Paranormal. We're all sporting the Your Paranormal hats tonight.
Yes.
Supporting the team. Man, I'm just so excited because this doll just seemed this isn't like just like a doll that someone said, hey guys, this doll's haunted.
Mm-hmm.
This doll has documented evidence that there's a spirit attachment to it. And not only is it with you guys, but it's also with other investigators who saw it on display in a shop.
Yeah.
And now it has found its way back to you guys for some reason. Like, why? Like the whole way that everything fell into place. It all started with a guest, like a horrible thing. Like, it's like a stressful thing. Like, a guest canceled last minute. Uh-oh, what are we going to do? Josh comes and he's like, yeah, I'll come on. And then we're talking about Barb, this haunted doll. I'm like, yeah, Barb. And you're like, Barb. And then freaking next thing we know, here's Barb. Barb found you. And why? This is what I am excited to learn. We're
gonna find out.
What is the end? Oh man, I'm so excited because I can't wait to actually investigate Barb. We're gonna add a special room when we're at Madison Seminary with just Barb.
True.
It's gonna be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome.
And so I'm excited, Connie, to hear your stories about Barb.
Barb is amazing. I love Barb, but also she scares me too. Like, I'll be in a room with Barb, just not by myself.
You won't be alone with Barb.
No. I also won't be alone in a ghost hunt by myself either, because unless I'm like I've done a couple. I have my solo survivor cards from Ryan.
Actually, you know what? Can we explain a little bit about, because I have one. I could probably go and grab it. But after an investigation with Your Paranormal, if you do a solo investigation, you get like a certificate card. It's like a little business card kind of shape. That's the size of it. And it's kind of a cool little reward that you get for putting yourself through hell for a little bit.
Yeah. That's the goal, right?
I mean, it can be that. Oh, history and headlines. Awesome choice of guests today.
Yeah, so I guess we gotta get to all, like where it all started, Connie.
Yes.
So you gotta tell us how'd you even get into the paranormal? Like, when did you get interested? I mean, how did you even get into the field?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in the paranormal, like ever since I was a kid. Like, I would always watch scary movies with my family, and then me and my mom discovered Ghost Adventures one time and got into that. And then I kind of like just occasionally like horror stuff, nothing too crazy. And then freshman year of college, they have this involvement fair. They have like all the student organizations. And that's where I met Brian with our college group. He put a folder in my hand and he's like, hey, join our group. I'm like, okay, I like ghosts. And he's like, hey, sign up for this investigation that's happening next week. And that was the Bisman building. That was my first official investigation.
Nice.
How did that go? What was it? Hey, you know, go on this investigation. Did you need to be sold? Like, what was the process?
I personally didn't need to be sold to go on an investigation because, like, I was like, it's gonna be just like the TV shows. Like, I'm gonna be famous. Like, we're gonna get like, like I'm doing this ghost hunt. Like, I'm so excited for it. And I know other people were like nervous because like ghosts and like the paranormal are like inherently scary. And I was just like, no, like sign up, like let's do this.
Yeah. So you're at this involvement fair. You've always liked ghosts, and you know some guy shoves a folder, you know, in your face, and you say, "Yeah, sure, I'll go on the investigation." And what kind of prep did you have? And I mean, what was the whole experience like?
Yeah, so there was a pre-investigation meeting that was like always happened for our college group, and Brian showed us like the tips and tricks of ghost hunting, and me and Brian also had like a one-on-one meeting too. He had a one-on-one meeting with like all the new people because there were a lot of new people for that investigation also, and at that time, the college group didn't have too much fancy equipment. We just had a couple of recorders and cameras, a couple like static objects like their cat toys and laser pointers and the twisty lights also. Those were my favorite that entire investigation.
yeah, the twisty lights for the flashlight sessions.
Yeah.
So the Bisman building overall was a good time?
It was so much fun. Like, it was probably like one of my favorite investigations that I've done so far. And I don't know if it was just because like it was my first investigation. I was so excited for it. The group of people was great also.
So what was your second one? I mean, tell us, give us a few snapshots of all the investigations you've been on.
The next investigation took a different turn. It was CPR.
And what's that?
Am I allowed to say their name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Cunningham Private Residence, which is a haunted place.
A haunted place.
Very haunted, or very haunted individual, but that's a different story. So I went from the Bisman building, which was this like pretty chill, relaxed, like it was definitely spooky and creepy, but it wasn't like scary, like you're going to pee your pants in the middle of the investigation, scared. Which was CPR.
You were a recorder on both of those, right?
Yes. So I had my little clipboard, and I could like block my face away from everything.
But this was the first time you investigated with Barb.
Yeah, that was the first investigation with Barb too. Was the my first investigation with CPR, and we go in knowing they did an investigation there. 2 weeks before that, also there were two investigations like 2 weeks apart from each other, roughly.
Probably. And, yeah, because you went to CPR 2, and there was probably CPR 1 2 weeks prior.
Guys, real quick, I have to interrupt. Okay, so I'm sure people saw me kind of like fidgeting back here. So like I'm looking at my camera and I notice, hey, the drumstick from my drum back here has fallen over. So I look back there and I noticed this box here, right? A friend made this box for me. And something told me to look at this box. Now here's what's funny. There's two things that I've been kind of missing for a little bit of time. One is a St. Michael medal, and two is a St. Benedict medal. Guess what's in this box? St. Benedict medal.
Okay.
That is cool.
And oops, just dropped the chain. And the St. Michael medal.
Both of them, huh?
Like what? Like what are the chances though? I'm sure that this is just like it's probably just like coincidence, but it's just like weird. Like I noticed a drum, and then all of a sudden, and I know what we're going to be talking about tonight. All of a sudden, here are these two protection medals that I've been kind of missing.
That is weird.
I don't know. Sorry, I had to.
No.
Like this is like where I keep a lot of my spiritual stuff, so it makes sense that it would be here. Yeah. I just didn't know it was in this box.
Huh.
So I don't know. I'm gonna put it back.
Weird.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I was just really surprised and shocked I had to share that. So
yeah. So I mean, was there a big difference from investigating at like a big location such as the Bisman building to a private residence?
So besides like the actual size of the building, like there were some differences.
Yeah.
The private residence, it felt like the overall like vibes that I got from like the Bisman building versus the private residence. It was just more directed energy versus like just the overall like residual energy in like the big building at like Bisman building.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt like more present, if that makes any sense, of the energy of the house versus the big building.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then the group also, like at Bisman building, we had 10 people in that building between all the different floors. I think there were like 3 floors plus a basement, so like we were able to like stagger so we wouldn't have like any contamination. Whereas at the private residence, we only had like one group at a time. So there was like the first shift and then the second shift. And you would rotate like between, so you had like a smaller group, so you didn't have like that contamination and too many people all at once.
Gotcha. All right. So then, go ahead.
For me, like I use like the big locations. It's like that's where I'm learning and taking in the knowledge and the experience to go and bring it to when I do a private residence.
Yeah.
Because a private residence is so much more unpredictable. It's like you go into one of these historical buildings, you can easily research the experiences that are had. You know what you can kind of expect, what type of entities you might run into. When you go into a home resident,
you don't know.
Private home, you have no clue. So I don't know. That's what I think the biggest difference is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a huge difference also.
Yeah.
So
I love private residences, so I could talk about those all day.
Yeah. All right, Twin City Opera House.
Ooh.
You're the recorder again.
I'm a professional at recording.
Why are you laughing at the Twin City Opera House?
Because that one was also fun too.
Connie's got a huge resume here.
Honestly, all these investigations, if there's nothing, like, if anything, just try to have fun and like always leave with good memories. That's what that's my goal. Like, obviously it's great having like the paranormal research and like getting the evidence and everything like that, but I'm also trying to have fun and like making good memories that will last a lifetime, which they've have so far.
So I've only got a few locations here because it's an old sheet, but just go ahead and give us a quick top favorite memory from each location. Bisman building.
The cookies.
Oh, come on now. Listen, I accidentally gave away her cookies. All right. CPR 2.
Meeting Barb.
Twin City Opera House.
Dr. Z singing on the stage.
Yes. Yorktown Lanes 2.
Going behind the bowling alley pins. That was so cool.
Moundsville.
The showers, and then the possible homeless person that was just a mannequin in the cell.
That's accurate. We're going back to CPR 3. If you, I don't know, they all blend together probably.
Was that the one where I cried?
Probably.
I think that was the scariest one.
Madison Seminary one.
That was so much fun. That was the first night, and you stuck me and the other member downstairs by ourselves to sleep in the other room while you guys all slept without us upstairs in Sarah's room.
Oh, well, that's kind of inaccurate, but what about Madison Seminary 2?
The finger.
Taking the finger. CPR A, CPR 5, CPR 6, and then I have MS1.
Wait a minute. You can't just say the finger and then just go on like nothing was said.
What happened
to the finger? Where was the finger put? What happened with this finger?
Go ahead, Connie. Because I don't have any recollection of this.
What was like when someone says the finger? What is your favorite thing about a dark haunted building? Oh, there was a finger.
So one of the dolls, it's the Blair Witch room, if I'm remembering correctly, and it was like the bride doll. Apparently her finger fell off during our investigation, and Brian decided to pick it up and like carry it around and did not tell anybody about this, and hid it inside like the bedding of like that night. We'd all decided to like sleep between like 2 air mattresses, and I was stuck in the middle, so like I had no way of easy escape, but I was probably the safest because I was covered by air mattresses. But Brian took the finger, and there was this bear on the window ledge, a stuffed bear, like stuffed animal, normal bear, sitting there for probably 36 hours straight. We did not touch it, do anything with it. All was fine. Brian took the finger. We're all laying in bed. We see these bright lights like across the hall because it's U-shaped and you can see across the courtyard. And Brian was like, oh, I forgot to turn off the lights, the floodlights that we had in that room at the time. He and another member went there, and we're sitting in this room waiting for them to come back, and we hear them yell and run back. And we're like, oh no.
I was not yelling. The other guy was yelling.
You guys were both yelling.
I don't remember that.
So, Brian, what was so exciting about this miniature finger?
They just said that the spirit doesn't like anything, touching the doll, and I thought it would be because some spirits are bound to certain rooms, and I thought, hey, let's move its finger to the other side of the U shape here. Just to let the spirit, perhaps have the capacity to roam a little bit. And everyone yelled at me, so I went to go return it.
Okay.
And the bear was on the ground. The guy, good friend of mine, was freaking out. So we took the static camera and we uploaded it onto a laptop, and sure enough, we saw the bear just slowly tip over, and it was like something yanked it onto the ground. But this was like an hour or 90 minutes after I took the finger, and like Connie said, it had already been 36 hours or so of not moving.
And like we were in that room jumping around too, like it was like set in its place.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and then the audio of that footage also, you can hear like footsteps walking towards the room, and you hear like this heavy breath or growl or something, and then you see the bear fall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is insane. That is insane. I mean, I could go on and on about the activity that goes on in that building. That building is pretty amazing. What goes on there? Sorry, I had to point out because you just say like there's the finger. It's like, what are you doing? Are you putting the finger on your nose? What are you doing with the finger?
Yeah,
Are you giving someone the finger?
No.
Did someone give you the finger? Like this is where my mind goes. My mind goes even into the gutter, like with that. Like you just say like the finger and be done with it.
Yeah,
you got to know the finger. And I've heard the story before, but it's still, I know I'm not the only one that thinks that way. And I think that that's so cool. I love the idea of trying to make it so that the spirit that might be attached to that doll might now be able to go and roam that hallway.
Yeah.
That's I love that idea. So I don't know. Sorry. Now, are you guys? Oh, you guys still have a lot more places to discuss, right?
That was really I have MS1 here, and I don't know if definitely someplace shares MS, and I don't know what it is. I know it's Madison Seminary, but it's something else. I'm not sure.
Is it the Madison Seminary with the Our Paranormal instead of the college group?
It's your paranormal, not our paranormal. What are you talking about?
This is the OPP. At least you're down with the OPP though.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Then you say, yeah, you know.
I've worked for 12 hours today so far.
No, it is. That's what it is.
All right, real quick. Melvin says probably shouldn't have taken that finger, but you got evidence. Sure, that spirit gave you it's your number one finger, though, Brian.
You know, it's. I'm with you, Melvin. You know, as paranormal investigators, we're we like to try things. You know, maybe I was just hoping that it would give some kind of free range or a little more freedom to a spirit. And just like you said, sometimes you get the finger, and sometimes you help. This time I got the finger. So.
Oh, here, guys.
Yes.
Sorry I'm late. Busy day at the store, Joe. Pair of oddities. So,
Joe's the man.
Guys, the other day, Brian got Barb. He went live.
I did.
Did everyone see it? I had to see the replay.
I watched it live. It was.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of people probably missed it because I missed it. That says, I missed it. Like, of course, it means everyone missed it. So I want to play it again. That's what I'm saying. But
perfect.
It's like a 15-minute long video. So, I just kind of want to I have it kind of skipped forward a little bit.
Oh, good.
Just because, like I said, it's a 15-minute long video.
You can do it as short as you want,
Yeah. If we get to a point, like if I start it at a point and there's something that we're missing, just let me know. I'll rewind it. And if you want me to stop at a certain point, I'll just stop there or whatever. So, because I think that this is a good way to really start getting into Barb and really getting into this. So, guys, here it is. You guys ready?
Oh, Lord.
You can see the case.
Yes.
And so, yeah. So let me know if you want me to rewind it.
Home. We've got Barb here. We've got some holy water. This is the magic moment. Again, I have Drew over here in case, all hell breaks loose. So Drew was here and stuff the whole time.
Who's Drew?
Drew is one of my best friends and also a real high-ranking member of Your Paranormal.
Okay.
He was just away when we went on that one investigation. He was in Finland.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
It's so crazy. We've been looking for Barb for 3 years now. Very, very insane. So Your Paranormal. We got our own Raggedy Ann doll. Barb the Second, named after Barb. So just to have Barb back is crazy. What a fail here, but yeah.
I know you're supposed to have your coolest knife ready.
It's so crazy.
You do an unboxing, you gotta I gotta cool.
I couldn't even get the Sudafed open. I mean, let alone this package.
Yeah, I have I don't know where it's at.
With my roots, man. Wow, look at that. Over Drew's so often. He's like laughing too. Oh, I was so pumped. Wow. This is I'm thinking that the whole world's crumbling right now because of the bubble wrap. Wow. Yeah, you did really tape it well. So this is this is Barb. Wow. And yeah, Barb was dumbfounded.
You're feeling her, like you're legit, you're like, wow, like I can't believe.
Yeah, you're right. This is 3 years in the making. It's crazy to think.
You could I don't know, I could just tell, like you're holding her. You're like, holy shit, I'm actually holding her.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just it just hit you. It's really cool.
Connie's excited. Connie's low key scared, but she's excited.
I can't wait to see Barb again.
And everyone that was in my college group and even graduated, let's go find Barb, rescue team Barb, everything. It was crazy.
No,
Connie was part of that.
Real quick, did you have a recorder going during all this?
I did not.
Fail. That's the true fail right there, man.
Well,
man, I bet she's saying all sorts of stuff to you right there.
Well, hopefully, as we're playing this back, we might be able to hear something.
Oh. Okay.
I haven't watched it back yet, to be honest. But I do have some updates for everyone on Barb so far.
Oh, I'm excited to hear these updates. And so we're gonna I'm gonna go back after the show and I'm going to listen to it. I'm gonna see if I can upload it and put it into my software and see if I can really listen to it like I would an investigation, because this is all right.
Well, you better be careful because I might be muttering, "Oh, that darn Shawn," under my breath. So you might want to listen to that carefully.
That freaking guy.
Yeah.
All right,
go ahead.
Here we go.
And we have Barb back here in our possession. No pun intended. hopefully not. Drew's over there going to go get possessed. But so Joe from Para Oddities, if there's one thing you take from this video, my man, literally go on that Facebook search bar, search Para Oddities. You're gonna find it. It's in Buffalo, New York. Joe runs it. If you could send positive energy, any love, go there, message him, say thank you. It's just anything you can do to promote that store. That's the best thing you can do. But we have Barb back. It's crazy. We have Barb back, and it's crazy. It's phenomenal. Months in the making, and I mean 3 years in the making, honestly. We're gonna house her for right now. She's been to 20 or so investigations. Her first ever investigation was at CPR, the Cunningham Private Residence, and we have almost a homecoming party. We've got Conor McGregor fighting tonight. We're going over.
R.I.P. Do you want to skip this part? We're talking about Conor McGregor. You just want me to
our boy? No. We're good. We can skip past it.
Oh, okay.
Skip past it. And my broken heart. Investigated with her over the last 4 or 5 years, right? We've got some people coming in. Obviously safely, masks, distance, everything, making sure everyone's cleared for this.
I believe it.
Just to pay respect, to pay homage
to
Barb here. It was beautiful. Feels almost smaller than I'm used to, because we have such we have Moosely, we have such big dolls, but it comes as Moosely. Let's go.
Let's go, Moosely.
First investigation, CPR, and it was the first time we investigated there. It's crazy to think. She's been to maybe hypothetically she's been to a lot of places like the Cleveland Agora Theater. I don't know. And there's so many times where members would do solo runs.
What's the first concert you ever saw at the Cleveland Agora Theater?
I haven't seen a single concert there, mate. I've only been to like one concert in my entire life, maybe two.
What? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Connie, what about you?
I haven't been there either. I haven't even
Really?
been there to a ghost hunt.
Dude, I've seen Tool there. I've seen Clutch.
Yeah.
I've seen Korn. I've seen a lot of really good bands play at the Agora. That place is awesome.
Did you ever investigate there, Shawn?
I have not.
What are you doing?
They just, I don't know. It's not one of those. It's not a real easy place to get into. They went a while where they didn't have investigations, and during that time, or I'm sorry, they did a while when they weren't having a lot of concerts. But then after, and at that time, like I was just like so busy with like Ectovision, and I was so busy with other things that like I didn't have a chance to go. And then then they start having all these concerts again, and so then it was really hard to plan because you're trying to plan around the times when they have shows, and then COVID came, and you would think, oh, COVID, great time to go, right? No, they can't. So I tried. So it's just one of those. It's just one of those places that slipped through my fingers, but it hasn't completely slipped because I'm going to get in there one day. So
Mark his words.
A matter of when, and then I'm going to go up there. I'm going to be like, this is where I saw Maynard James Keenan. Man, dude, that show, dude. Oh, I was the smallest kid, like in the front row. In the front stage, I was throwing elbows, dude, to keep my spot. I was the smallest kid, dude. Dude, I saw the Whites. Oh, dude, it was like the coolest day ever. It's like the first time I ever saw Tool. I've now seen Tool like 12 times. So just so you know, that was my first time seeing Tool, and that was iconic for me. And that was at the Agora. So think about all that energy. Right, just like all those people. Like when you think of music, right? I like to play music before investigations because music brings energy in it. It's I don't know, and so but then you have that music, and then you have the people who have an emotional attachment to the music, and then you have the people that just love the music. You have the people like to get in the mosh pits. You like oh man, there's so much cool stuff, and then there's the bad things that unfortunately happen at these things. There's just so much energy. I love investigating the kids' stage. I love investigating places like that. But I have not been to the Agora. So I'm sorry. I had to bring up the Agora because the memories I have from the 90s. So, all right. Sorry. I'm a rambler.
With Barb, people loved her. Some people were afraid. But the people that respected Barb and really just loved all the passion that she brought. Moosely, yes, Becca, Moosely. So we're so glad to have her back. It's nice. I'm here at the office. There's no one here, so besides Drew and I. So just in case all hell broke loose, everyone would be okay and everyone would be safe. It's crazy. Look at your eyes, man. You need the holy water. How you feeling right now? Wait. Drew is hearing stuff the entire time. He's like, I'm hearing stuff outside the office, and, like in the hallways.
And here's the thing, like I've been in your office, and there's nothing there. It's an office. Like there's nothing there. So for him to start hearing stuff with Barb there,
it's odd, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this is very, very symbolic for the group. Very, very wonderful. And again, one last time, Barb has been missing for 3 years. We found her. Yeah, real win. So able to coordinate all the logistics. Joe from Para Oddities is such a nice guy. He's been taking care of her. And you need to go on the Facebook, on the search bar, Our Paranormal Podcast. Okay? Our Paranormal Podcast. There's a 2-ish hour podcast of us talking to Joe and him saying all the crazy things that this doll has done at his museum, and just getting her here. He was gonna mail her out to us, got a flat tire, car broke down, got kidney stones, and when he got to the USPS store, he slipped on ice. The package fell out and slid under somewhere where he literally had to go and stretch and grab. There's so much coincidences and there's so much crazy things going on. Not Barb, yeah. I'm looking good, not Barb. She freaking, yeah. Now, Mikey, when you come on your first investigation, Mikey's a good hometown friend. Always good salesman. When you come on your first investigation and you do a solo run, I'll let you take one other person with you. Of course, I'll let you take Barb. But there's so much research gone into Barb where the sample.
So he's going to go on his first investigation with one other person, and that other person is Barb.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
When he goes on the investigation, when it's his first solo run. But hey, real quick, yeah, listen, Joe Parodities. I had a lady stop by the store and she screamed, "Where is Barb?" I explained what happened. She left crying. She's a regular who would stop in and visit the haunted objects cabinet. Yo, and I think we knew that coming in, where it's everyone that Barb has positively impacted here or is going to freak out and just be feeling so blessed. And of course, there's going to be people in Buffalo, New York that's going to feel kind of like a little hole, like a little void is missing, and that is a real shame. But of course, when we go visit the store, we'll make sure to bring Barb. I just got new tires, so hopefully, there's no. And seriously, we really enjoyed you being on the show. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. It's phenomenal. Joe, you are the man.
Definitely. And also to throw this out there, history headline says Guar. Yeah, Guar played there. Oh, are we showing our age?
I don't know if that's like a TikTok thing or something. I don't know. All right. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was going to say, go on YouTube. Look up Guar.
I know. I'm sure it's a band.
Okay. Sorry. Now.
Yeah. No, we're good.
We have a thing with Brian and the music, and because I'm old and he's not. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Full size is huge. That something's wrong. There's something that might be attached to Barb. She's got some kind of energy and a personality that radiates, and we are excited. I know she'd love to be at the museum to see everyone, but the whole serendipity of it, okay? Him randomly turning on our podcast right at the correct moment after over an hour in, and all the different things happening with the music and everything lining up, like the stars are lined up. We've got Barb back. Clearly, she wants to be back home with us. We're going to be making wonderful visits. We're going to be going on investigations again for Your Paranormal. 2021 is our year. And we're so blessed that Joe from Para gave us this opportunity. And we're so blessed. We spared no expense with this beautiful glass casing. She's going to have a wonderful home to keep her safe. Put a little holy water there, and yeah. So we're gonna make sure she's safe, and we're gonna make sure that wherever she goes, that house that is housing her is safe, and she's gonna go on an abundance of investigations. She's been to a lot of the investigations out here to Cleveland, but not so many in Youngstown. So she's going to be able to go back to her favorite location, stay there for a little bit at the Cunningham private residence in the attic, in a nice home, well checked on and well documented and researched. We want to make sure that we're, keeping up to date of what happens. I remember, she got in on Thursday and we didn't even know. And Brian, the homeowner, at a CPR, he's like, yeah, my coworkers were saying I got a scratch on my neck. Thursday, when she comes home, he gets a scratch, and that's happened in the past. That happened 3 years ago. So
Yes.
There's so
and it'll be for Veronica, and it's a whole other story.
Just like everything in your paranormal, we go to these locations and we do a bunch of research and tell you what we feel. This is another project for us. So, you can have the story of each haunted location, but now you have the story of Barb. You're hearing stuff already. You're going to be able to witness firsthand, and everything's going to be collected and logged. I had my paranormal journal there. The Cunninghams are going to have their paranormal journals. We're going to be documenting this, and every investigation, we're going to make sure we have a close eye on Barb. We are excited. So, everyone, without further ado, we're going to etch a nice right here because this is beautiful wood. We're going to etch Barb's name in here.
Joe, these things get expensive. These cases are expensive, my friend.
They are.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Where'd you get the case from?
I think it's
like
Michael's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had their own little section.
It's been a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Listen to me real quick. A very, very long time.
I'm listening. Yeah.
Trying to figure out where Barb was, worried that Barb was, because I didn't know what happened to her, if she was being shipped around to different states, she got lost.
Wow.
Because honestly, at Your Paranormal, we're trying to help people grow, start their paranormal adventure, grow their paranormal adventure, share.
Wow.
We want people to enjoy the paranormal field.
Yeah.
And I work with, especially my...
All right. I think having two Bryans is scarier than Barb. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. This is really it. This is really it if we want to move on. But yeah.
Look at this. Look at this though. That's what I was waiting for. Was Barb being put in?
Yeah.
Case. That's where she's at now, and this is kind of like where I'm at with this, right? Hold on, let me hide this because it's kind of where I'm at with it, and I've kind of expressed this to you a little bit, Brian. Like, she was in a case in a store, and like Joe said, a lady even came recently looking for Barb and was sad that she was gone. Barb is used to this type of attention. So what happens to an object or spirit when it's used to getting all this attention? And now it's not in the store. The spotlight is now off of the doll, and now the doll is being kept somewhere safely, and it's not getting the interaction that it's used to getting. So is it? It's not getting the attention it's used to getting. So my question is the doll going to start, or the spirit that's with the doll, I should say, is it going to start trying to look for attention and get attention in other ways because it's not getting the attention it's used to?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm truly confident that the homeowners there talk to Barb every single day, which is hilarious in one fashion or another. And I truly feel once we start taking Barb on investigations, if there was any hole in the spirit's attention or lack of involvement in the world, I think once we start taking Barb on investigations and going on more investigations, and like I've been telling people, even my Your Paranormal people are itching for investigations. I said, once we get the vaccine and once we get more up and moving, and it's the same thing with Barb. That's how I feel. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We're going to be moving her from the attic around a little bit just to document different types of, like you mentioned, different types of interactions she has in different locations. But we chose specifically the attic because when we investigated with Barb in the attic, that's where we got most of the activity.
and we thought that was the safest spot for her. And
so you kind of feel like maybe you were bringing her home.
Yeah, that, and it was her first investigation. She's investigated there the most, and all the other Raggedy Ann dolls and all the other items are up there as well. Becky even made her a wonderful home. She's Barb's surrounded with other dolls as well, and
okay.
It's not like we packaged her up and threw her in a corner.
When I think of an attic, like my attic in my house has the air blown installation, so like we don't live there at all. So I think of just like a place like she's stuffed up there, like out of sight, out of mind, trying to keep ourselves safe type of situation.
Well, Connie, how would you describe it?
The attic?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like your typical attic with like the insulation and everything. You have to like pull down from the ceiling. It's pretty spacious. Like you could get, how many people do we have up there at one point? Like 8 people.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like crowded or anything like that. And like there's a couple of boxes of like miscellaneous like knickknacks and stuff that they have up there, but it's not like stuffed up or anything like that. Like there's plenty of space for Barb and for people, and it's not like she's being forgotten up there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I do have to say, Barb hates that case. That's like the vibe I get. As soon as he put her in that case, I was like, nope, she does not like that.
I think it's like the feeling of being isolated. And I kind of got that vibe too, and that's why I was concerned about the attic when I heard attic. But the more you guys explain it, but I'm curious to know, you had mentioned that the homeowner already got a scratch. Has there been any other activity since she has been in their home?
Yeah, it's a little interesting. There have been some like weird right before an investigation, maybe the week before, when like the college team would come down, or when the Your Paranormal team would be coming to CPR, and the homeowners would experience like it almost, the energy would heighten up a little bit because they knew something was coming. And the whole saga of the Cunningham private residence revolves around a lot of things. One is Veronica, or like a woman's name that starts with a V. And we've had a lot of weird stuff with that, with ghost boxes and like those kind of names, and Brian's dreams and lots of weird stuff. Well, sometimes he would get scratches on his birthday or prior to an investigation. And the day that Barb arrived in my mailbox, unbeknownst to us, because we didn't know that she got here, Brian got a V on his neck, like a scratch. And it wasn't until later I was like, wow, you're right, it is like Veronica. Like, that's crazy. V for Veronica. And then we found out, the doll got here on Thursday as well. So again, we unpackaged her on Saturday, and we Drew heard some stuff, and then we got her to the Cunningham's house. We had a nice little welcome home party. We watched Connor, and Connor lost, and I said, Barb, are you serious? I mean, come on now. We don't have to be, doing that. But then again, we had a little party. We moved her upstairs, and it was real nice. And it was real nice. And then I think once we moved her in the house, I think Becca was getting some kind of pizza out, and she accidentally burned herself on getting like the oven out. She's like, Barb, you don't have to be burning me like that. And then so after that night, because it's been almost a week now. No, it hasn't. It's been like 4 or 5 days. She's got burned 2 other times, and it was weird. She was like talking about Barb, and then her hot water turned off, And the first night she woke up and all the doors in the basement that were closed and she double checked were open. So luckily, because Barb's in her favorite spot, her favorite location that she's always investigated with two people that I know truly enjoy Barb and can carefully document her. We've been documenting everything in a journal, and we've been talking about it over text with pictures and everything. And so, we're going to move forward with having her try out different spots of the home and in a safe manner until, of course, we could investigate with her on the 10th, which is a big thing.
Yes.
But yeah, it's crazy, guys. There's a lot of stuff already happening. But I'm with Joe here. I think Barb is happy to be home as well. I mean, when I unboxed her, it was very sentimental for me. And I agree. It was like a 3-year exchange student, which is odd because when Connie left to study abroad, we still had Barb. And then when she came back, Barb was given away. So it's also kind of symbolic on that nature. And I'm excited to go on investigations with her and investigate with her and you, Shawn, and you, Connie.
Yes, I'm excited to investigate with her. There's I don't know. There's a thing I really want to. It's really kind of fitting. I've been wanting to investigate more and learn more about objects with attachments. And so this is all very fitting for me too, and I'm excited for this opportunity. Now I'm curious: has anyone other than Ed being in the in that one house, the private residence, has the name Veronica come up anywhere else? All investigations, and has it come up at any other time pertaining to the Barb the doll?
Do you know, Connie?
I don't believe so. I didn't think the ghost box knew names until we went to the private residence. Like, their ghost box was spookily accurate, if I could describe it that way. Like, and it was spitting out words like we had no idea the ghost box even had like programmed into it. Like, it was saying like Jesus and God and what else was it saying too?
There's so many.
Like, it would say it in like such a specific order too. I remember it said "run human."
Yeah. So for all who don't know, a ghost box is it's instead of a spirit box that like goes through the channels. All it is just something that spits out random words, but it's thought to pull words that ghosts want, or some people think it just randomly spits out words. But it's weird. Like, we were in the attic with Barb, and it said like 0, and someone was like, "Oh, that's weird," because like I don't think the ghost box has a huge vocabulary. I don't even remember it saying any other like Z words. Maybe it's trying to say like because we're talking about Ouija board stuff. It's like, you guys ever hear of Zozo? Like, that's weird. And it said zoo, like, I don't know, 40 seconds after that. It's like 0 and zoo. Oh my God. Is that like Zozo? Because we're talking about that. And then some people heard a growl behind them. And that attic is like, it's a hot spot. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I love the ghost box. Mm-hmm. Especially at the CPR.
I haven't used a ghost box a whole lot.
I can't find one. I can't find the one that we used to have. Strange.
Was it like the third version or something like that, or the first version?
I'm trying to look for it, but boy, it was a beauty.
And I saw here a comment about where Joe also said how he used a lot of tape. And we talked about you having trouble opening. When you do an unboxing, you need a knife like this. You need to get your dagger out, and you need to be prepared. So when you're doing your unboxing, you're not fumbling around. You gotta let it know who's boss.
with my luck, Barb would just right on me. Just flip it right on me.
You know what? With the dreams I've been having, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing really crazy dreams, but I've been having some insane dreams. I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with Barb, but there's things going on in the world that I don't know. The being an empath and tapping in, and I've been working on opening up more. But so that probably plays a role in it. But these dreams I've been having, very vivid. So I don't know.
I probably know what it's about, like all your dreams. Like it's probably got like some weird, coincidence. It's probably because we're about to enter the abyss.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the section of the podcast, Into the Abyss, where we have our guest answer 13 fast fire questions where they answer as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. Connie, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna say number 1 and number 13 just to give you some kind of reference. Connie, let's begin. Where do you want to investigate the most in 2021? Number 1.
Does it have to be a new place or an old place, or
wherever you want?
I'd love to go to CPR again.
And we'll make that happen.
I want to go to CPR.
Ron, you will go to CPR as well. 2021, it's going to happen.
All right.
Number 2, what's the scariest moment you've had investigating?
Either the bear that happened in Madison Seminary or in CPR when I saw like the shadow figure walk by.
Oh my gosh. How did you first get into the paranormal? What got you interested?
I've just always been interested. Like ever since as a kid, I knew what a ghost was. Like I've always been interested in like ghosts and like how they became ghosts, like how ghosts existed, where people thought of them from and everything like that, the history behind it.
And is there something you bring to every investigation with you?
I have one necklace. It's a key, and it's a key to my saxophone case that I used to wear almost like every single day since like 7th grade or something like that. I haven't been wearing it lately because my body's having really bad reactions to the metal, so I haven't worn it in like the past few months. But that I do bring it to all the investigations.
And what's a location you've never been to but always wanted to go?
Ooh, probably Alcatraz.
Okay. And besides your senses, what's your top 3 investigation pieces of equipment to use?
The ghost box, Boo Buddy.
Oh, yes, Boo Buddy.
He sucks, but he's so much fun. And, the spirit box and the REM pod. I'll give you 4.
Oh my gosh, there we go. So everyone's on their own paranormal adventure and everyone's got their own goals, like what they want to get out of it. What is your goal when it comes to your paranormal adventure?
My goal is to like learn the history about the place and just to gain the knowledge of what happened there, but also to have these lifelong memories and these lifelong friends that you can always be in contact with, and those memories you can carry with through all these different moments of your life.
Wow. And when can we see you on Scary Games Saturday? Real ghost hunters play real scary games. What's up with that?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, you're probably not busy with work. It's probably your slow season, so we'll probably have to get it in soon. What
yeah,
is
not called busy season for anything?
Hey, so what's your favorite moment with Barb?
Oh, my favorite moment with Barb probably has to be in the CPR attic during my first investigation with Barb and with at CPR. we were in the attic with her, and the ghost box started going crazy. We started hearing a whole bunch of different stuff going on in the attic and downstairs. And as soon as we dispersed to like different levels of the house and just sit silent, it was dead silent.
Best pre-investigation meal?
Subway.
What at Subway? Just those cold cuts, or?
Yeah, just basic cold cut sandwich, turkey, ham, lettuce, tomato, onion. Nothing fancy.
I mean, you've got a lot of investigation memories. What's your favorite one?
The first thing that pops to my head was, "Hey, Brian, can you raise your hand?" At Bisman Building.
So, and what happened there?
We were in the basement of the Bisman Building and in one of like their old coolers there, because they had like, it was something with like refrigerating meat or something like that. And we were investigating there. Complete darkness, and we only had like the light of that was reflecting off the camera. And I see something behind Brian. I'm just like, oh, that's just Brian moving around. And I'm just like, Brian goes, "Hey, does anyone have any questions?" I'm like, "Hey, Brian, can you like move your hand?" And Brian's like, "Why?" I'm just like, "Oh, I just want to see where you were." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm just like, "There's something behind you."
That was your first EVP session ever, yeah?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh. And it's your favorite memory. So, number 12 here. What keeps you safe during investigations?
Just trying to stay solid, staying grounded, thinking the happy thoughts, and also making sure everybody's morale is staying up. Good food is always a bonus, like bring those snacks and bring coffee.
All right, and the last one, number 13. What is your number one tip for a new investigator trying to get into the field?
Reach out to your friends, see if anybody's interested, because it's always better to go in knowing someone than like going in not knowing, because everybody's been great so far that I've met, but it's also scary meeting new people. So it's great going in with friends as well.
All right, Connie. Hey, listen, you survived into the abyss. I mean, that was smooth. All those, man, all those responses were just smooth. You did a wonderful job.
Well, now with that, I came up with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's a location I want to go to with you guys. Well, it has to reopen, though. I don't know if you guys know who Steve Humble is, but he has a place called the National. It's the Archives of the Afterlife. He has had to close down and move, but once he gets reopened, I want to get your paranormal in there. It's the stuff that he has there is amazing. There's one doll there that this is the reason why I want to investigate items with attachments more. I need time alone with this doll. This doll. Okay, so I had a like a K2 meter. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking. It's been a long, hard day. It was actually a tri-field natural meter that I had in my hand, and I set it down next to the box that the doll was in. It ended up falling into the box with the doll, and I had to go and grab it. And I said, "I'm sorry, I have to grab this," and I accidentally touched the doll. Now, to most people, it's like, "Oh, whatever, he touched this doll." Dude, I didn't feel the same for the rest of the night after that. I've never experienced anything like that off of an object before.
Yeah.
So now, but this guy, he has so much cool stuff there. I'm sure that Joe, I'm sure that he's got some really cool stuff too, and we definitely need to make it there too. But this place, he does overnight investigations so you can go. And I'm really excited to see his new place. So to see his new location, I want to get your paranormal to go there.
Yeah, and for all who don't know, Your Paranormal is a team that I run after I graduated the college group. And I took about a year or so off just to enjoy. Yes. You see everyone here has the Your Paranormal hats. So, and don't worry, Joe, you will be getting one as well. And and of course, Dr. Zard needs one too. Not to worry, my friend. On the next investigation, I will get you one. You know, we have I have a ton of high school friends, and I wanted to get back into the game. I wanted to show people how to start, grow, and share their own paranormal adventure. And what better way than to lead by example? And I want to get back in the field. So I remember Shawn was one of the first people I reached out to, you know, you, Tina, everyone, just saying, hey, I want to get back in the field. And I was thinking of names. And because it was so focused on other people, that's why it's your paranormal, one word. Because it's about your paranormal adventure, you know? So I've collected my hometown friends. I've collected my friends that I met, you know, in college, in the paranormal field, and you know, we're all members of the team. There's no dues. It's just, if it's a free investigation, we just ask that you chip in $15 for, you know, batteries, etc. And if it's a paid investigation, and you know, we can use my equipment, and you know, we'll just give you, you know, we'll give you the investigation at cost. So it's $300. Everyone chips in $30. The group doesn't get anything in terms of, you know, battery costs, etc. But you get it at a cost. So really, it's just a wonderful. I don't want to say experience, but it's a wonderful opportunity. And the last investigation we did, all three of us were actually on it. And
That's true.
And we served the last rotation together.
We did.
Tunnels, except Connie said, I ain't going in those tunnels again.
You know what? My full intention was to not to. And Brian's like, come on, Shawn. So I gave in.
Come on, Shawn.
I gave in to peer pressure, and I went. And I'm not used to being on my knees. You know, my knees hurt. Like, I have a bad back. Like, but like, my back is now, my knees hurt, man. Like, I need some like knee pads. If we go back there, I need to get some knee pads so I can do that.
We're getting paranormal knee pads. Yeah, and I want to do it again. I thought it was really nice.
We need to go and like, we need to get gloves and knee pads, and maybe we'll already have masks, and we'll go in there and we'll crawl around. Maybe we'll get to explore all the tunnels. Maybe the tunnels go somewhere that we aren't prepared for.
I just remember me, Brian, and Becca were in the tunnel the first time. Like, I think, weren't we the first people to go in the tunnels?
Yeah.
And you guys, like, forced me to go in there. And I'm just like, something doesn't want us to go in these tunnels. And we go in, we go around the corner, and we go up, and, like, it just gets muddy. And then all of a sudden, behind me, like coming up around the first corner, so like there's here, and then here's there, and it's like a Z kind of thing. And I'm right here in this corner. Brian and Becca are up here dealing with the mud. I'm like, yeah. I'm not going in the mud. I'll just chill out here.
Big mistake.
Weird. You know what's really weird about these tunnels? First, the one by the kitchen, there's like an old chair down there. Why is there an old chair down there? Who's going down there and sitting down there? Number one. And then the one that's over by like the office or whatever, it's the principal's office or whatever that is. There's like an old milk crate. Like, it looks like someone like would hide down there. I don't know. And there's like an old chair. So it's not like it's an old milk crate. So it's not something that's just been placed there within the last 10 years.
Yeah, and Connie, you said something was, you know, coming up to you or something?
Yeah, so I was just chilling in this corner, and all of a sudden I hear coming up through the tunnel, and I start freaking out. I'm like, it's go time. Like, it's time to leave. Like, we got to pack our bags and go.
I didn't really, the one that we went into, I didn't really feel anything down there. Which tunnel was that in?
It was you guys went in the one behind like the boiler area, and then me, Brian, and Becca went into the one behind the staircase.
Oh, you went into that one. That was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeout chair.
It was really nice. My plan is to, in a perfect world, I'd like to go to the Cunningham private residence twice. we are going to go to the Cunningham private residence at least twice in 2021. We're going back to the nunnery and the school grounds at least twice in 2021. And my aunt has a house that's haunted, and hopefully I'll be able to work out a deal that we can go at least twice in 2021. That's 6 investigations lined up for 2021. They're all free, which means they're just $15 for everyone, and we can get some good funds for the group. And since Becca's going to be more of like a manager of the group, because she's working with me now, and we're like more hands-on with it, and we meet basically every day. She's the one that's taking care of Barb also, but also getting burned. I don't know. But hey, it'll be good to have more structure. And, 2021 is your paranormal's year. So we are very excited for it. So, which really means for you two, lovely investigations all lined up for you. So, and nothing's lined up right now, but we're going to get it done. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is something lined up for you.
Uh-oh.
And it's something lined up for Shawn and I. And we wanted to show you today the official first trailer for our solo run challenges. Everyone's ready.
Oh!
I hope everyone's ready.
Okay, cool.
You've experienced investigations. You've experienced podcasts. You've never experienced anything like this before. 4 individuals: Shawn Gilmore, Brian Mursall, Becca Cunningham, Barb. The Solo Run Challenges. 1 hour, our paranormal podcast live at a haunted location. Hours of duo investigating. The Solo Run Challenges. It all starts February 10th at 8 p.m. Madison Seminary. Gilmore versus Mursall. The Solo Run Challenges. I thought that was pretty cute. Shawn, I told you I had something little for you.
I like it. I love it a lot, dude. That's awesome. Dude.
That was lit.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Shawn versus Mursall. Gilmore versus Mursall.
Yeah, and that's thank you, Melvin. So we've been brainstorming this for months now. Thank you. We're trying to do a lot of investigations with your paranormal, at least. So you're gonna have a ton of content with all 3 of us, as well as everyone else with the Your Paranormal team. But specifically because you only get to see Shawn and I be co-hosts on a podcast. It's easy to sleep on our skills and the hours upon hundreds of hours we put into the field of paranormal. So when you get to see the duo runs and the solo runs, hopefully we're trying to do one every quarter. So that's at least 4 every year, at least. You're going to see Shawn in action, 10 years of investigating. You're going to get blown away. And his interaction with Barb is going to be firecrackers, I'll tell you. True fireworks. So I know everyone thinks we just sit behind the cameras here and, we talk into our fancy microphones and we interview people.
Yeah, fancy mics. Yeah.
Wow, Yeti. But Shawn and I are very skilled investigators, very passionate about the field. So you get to see us in your paranormal investigations with Connie, and you get to see us doing these solo run challenges. So it's an impact 2020.
You know that Brian means business when he brings the mic up to his
This
mouth.
is the business mic.
This is the seriousness right here.
I don't have a mic.
Come on, Connie. We're going to get you there.
Here, Darren Smith says the solo runs at Madison Seminary are going to be intense. You know what, Darren? They're going to be freaking really intense. And this is on my birthday week. And so this is crazy. I just spoke with Adam Kimmel, and we're gonna have access to
We just have to verify that the access to the internet while we're there, so we can do the podcast as we normally do here on StreamYard. So it goes onto our Facebook pages and the YouTube. So it's going to be awesome, guys. And then by doing that, my plan is to connect hopefully on a laptop. Whether if it's my crap top or I'm sure you probably have a nice laptop, and then we'll go and we'll walk through with one of our phones, or maybe we'll split up. I don't know. And because we can do this as we're doing it, and we can walk through and give everyone a little bit of a taste of Madison Seminary, because there's a lot of people who don't get to experience this amazing place, and there's so much that goes on. The Jeff Fent once posted a video of they have dumbwaiter doors. One was just like opening and closing on command. It's insane. This building is insane, and we're going to be doing solo runs. I'm actually kind of nervous because being an empath and stuff. I'm going to be pushing myself to a limit, guys. My limit. I'm going to be pushed to the edge. I know Brian's got some crazy stuff planned for me, and we got some crazy stuff planned for each other. It's gonna be crazy, guys. And I don't know. I'm like just being anywhere in that building blindfolded is like nerve-wracking to me. So I know that's at least part of a couple of our challenges. So it's gonna happen. But
yeah, well, probably both of us. But Connie, now. One of your last investigations was Madison Seminary. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been there 4 times. The first time was like the 48 hours while we were there, holed up with all the dolls and blankets. But the last time was, I would say the vibes were completely different because they were the remodeling that they've done from the first time to the last time. And they've investigated so much more. I felt like there was more activity, like the spirits there were more welcoming per se, like they were more used to having people there then. So it was really interesting. But the tippy top, not the attic side, like the school side, but the tippy top area, Brian, you know what I'm talking about, right?
The tippy top. I got a story about the tippy top.
I refuse to go there by myself because the last time I was there in my squad, it was Drew, Dr. Z, and I think 2 other people.
Joey?
Yeah, Joey was there, and I think maybe one other person was on the squad. It might have been your brother. I don't remember. But we were up in the tippy top in the big room, and I'm facing the hallway that goes like over, and then you make the left to the very end. And we have the portal with us, and I'm the recorder again because like the recorder is my go-to role, I guess. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just watching, and Drew is playing with the portal, trying to set that up with Dr. Z. And all of a sudden I'm just like, guys, there's something watching us. And I see like this thing like peeking around the corner. I'm just like, they're not happy. They want us. They don't like that. They absolutely hate the portal. Like they were mad, and like they did not want us there. They did not want us up there. They did not like the portal. They didn't. And I'm just like, guys, like stop it. Like it's not gonna work. Then they don't want it to happen. Like it's not gonna work. They're not happy. And Drew and Dr. Z, like they're just like, oh, it's fine. Like no big deal. Don't worry about it. And Joey's just being quiet as usual. He's just taking it all in. I'm just like, no, like, I see this thing, like, it's coming at us. And, like, all of a sudden, I see it rush towards us. And I just turn off the portal. Like, I just, like, jump to the portal, turn it off. I'm like, we gotta go.
So when you're talking about the tippy top, are you talking about the asylum?
Yeah, I think that's what it's officially called.
Where the dark hallway is? With the like checkered floors and the small rooms, and they now have a doctor's table there.
You're saying you go out of the safe room, go to the right, go
down the ramp,
all the stairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go down the ramp and then all the way up to the top of the stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the asylum.
That's the
I will not walk into that asylum even to this day, like through the wood door, without asking for permission to walk through that door. Because the first time I investigated there and the experience I had there. So.
And then if you want crazy stuff to go down during your investigation, put Barb around the corner. I think it's like in the second room on the right. And if you sit in the big room, like around like that middle post,
Yeah.
like you'll hear stuff walking around over there and you'll hear voices and everything. I remember that happening. One of the investigations with Barb there.
With Barb, I talked to Brian about doing with Barb is I want to get permission to do this, and I'm probably going to need permission from Kathy Centauri too. She has a room where she does Reiki, or she did before COVID. She did Reiki, and she gave readings in this room. It's just like a little office. It's kind of like off the cut, away from other areas where we'd be investigating. And then we would be able to really have that one-on-one time with Barb. That's kind of where my idea was. If that office is not okay for us to use, there's other rooms that we can use in that same kind of hallway. Actually, the other direction of the hallway. But I really would like to use that area just because I know it's a nice, quiet spot where it can be alone with Barb. But maybe we should bring Barb around with us. I don't know. We will play by. I don't know. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I think we should like after the our podcast and we start to do the duo investigation, and then Becca's going to be filming. So it could just be us on the cameras. We'll have Barb with us. It's just where we want Barb for the solo runs, because one of the challenges will definitely be it's not a solo run, it's a duo run with Barb. So it'll be fun. And then of course, when we do these solo runs, we want to make sure that it's safe. And that's why we have Becca along. She won't be with us. She'll be with us for the duo runs, just to film us, just to make sure that, for the content side of it, you get to see everyone, and, she'll be an extra eyes and ears. But solo runs, she'll be waiting patiently at home base, and just so whoever comes back first, she can help document what's going on and what they, firsthand. But of course, if something goes wrong, she can, go into action and, find the investigator and pull them. If I'm blindfolded and I'm only supposed to be there between 15 and 20 minutes, and it's been 25 minutes and I'm not back, we have a rescue squad, right?
Yeah.
If none of us come back, back is dialing 911, man.
Oh, great. Yeah. So here, Darren Smith is saying the asylum is the hallway with the weird tile that makes him sick every time. He won't go back there. Honestly, that's the same area where I will not go. I asked for permission to go in there. Yep, someone else had experience at the asylum there.
It's getting more real. Like I literally just had a vision of me there.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, and then we'll read Joe's comment.
No. I just, for some reason, when we were talking about the asylum there, I had a vision of me going up there doing a solo run. I'm just like, this is about to get real, boy. This is about to get real.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So Joe suggests when Barb is in the case, take a styrofoam cup, rub it on your sleeve until it's statically charged. And place the cup onto the case so you can see the cup move when the energy is being drawn from the cup. That's a sign something will happen.
Wow.
Okay. I like it.
I like it.
So Penny, she's asking, think something's attached. Okay. I'm going to do this real quick. So there's this doll.
Brian purchased this doll years and years ago from a Target to bring on investigations to have a fun little mascot. Well, now this doll, it went and it was taken on over 20 investigations, and now people have had experiences that scared them. And the doll was kept after that at Para Oddities in Buffalo, New York, hours away from the Youngstown area that Barb usually lives. And now here we are, years later, and Barb is home. Look at that. And she looks the same.
All right.
Very well kept care of. Very.
Here it is.
Uh-oh.
All right, Brian.
Yes.
I did, tell them a few things, but why don't you fill us in a little bit of what's been going on? Oh yes, again, almost like Barb's caretakers, Becca and Brian. I'm checking in 2 or so times a week, but I wanted to make sure that Barb was in a safe space, a place that she really enjoyed her first investigation and the most investigation she's been on. But one of the caretakers here, best friends of mine, said, "Did you hear about Barb's first night home?" So hopefully he'll give us a little insight in the comments coming up, from his perspective.
We should bring him on the show. Send him a link. See if he'll come on.
Let me see if.
If he doesn't want to, it's very last minute.
No,
it's very much.
No. Let me see what I can do.
That'd be cool to. But yeah, and so Joe commented because he was talking about the old school trick of putting the cup on the case. I love those old school things. I actually keep a compass with me for when I investigate, and then you have to use those. You can't discount any sort of tool that's out there. So it's one thing that I have done is with the static electricity was actually statically charge balloons and put them on the ground. I actually got this idea from Eric McGill, and I tried it on an investigation. You take the balloons, you statically charge them, and you put them on the ground, and you get some pretty cool interaction with that too. Connie, have you ever tried anything like that?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of things. Have you ever seen like people put the baby powder on the floor?
Yeah, I've heard stories. Brian did that at one of the locations that he investigated beforehand, because I remember I watched Paranormal Activity and they did that, and I was like, oh, is that like a thing that those hunters do? And Brian was like, yeah, we did it once and it was a mess to clean up and we're never doing it again.
No, don't do it. I wouldn't recommend that one. But the balloon thing is a great one. The cup thing, I haven't tried the cup. I'm going to do that. I love using the compass. The compass to me is it's like a better version of the K2, except like it doesn't have a light on it, so it's like hard to see sometimes. But it's great. I don't know. It's more natural. It's like I for some reason I've been fidgeting with my my pendulum here or dowsing rods, doing stuff like that, and just kind of get the energy that way.
These are going to be our future guests soon. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is these are my closest friends.
Oh.
So Becca is asleep, unfortunately, but I just got home. But I wanted to fill you guys in on a little bit of what's happened since Barb's been home.
Yes.
So it's been a lot of trouble sleeping, a lot of taps and knocks. But the big thing was when Barb was here originally.
Real quick. My dogs are going crazy right now. As soon as you started talking, they're like barking up a storm. I don't know, if I just talked in a different tone, but I guess Julie's trying to sleep too, and the dogs are barking at something crazy, and that's never happened on the show. But
Never. I thought that was going from Brian's house.
No,
The other Brian.
Okay, sorry. This is all too weird. Go ahead.
So, I don't know if you've heard the story about when Barb was first here, and when she was downstairs, all the doors kept opening, and so the first night Barb was actually in the house. Becca wakes up before me, and she goes, "All of the doors downstairs are open." She's like, "I checked them twice to make sure that nothing would happen before I went to bed." We woke up, and every single door downstairs was open, which is what Barb used to do when she lived here before. So it's very strange.
She's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like an ominous kind of sign. It was kind of like a sign, like, "Hey, like, I'm home."
Nice.
Like, so it was very, very strange. But yeah, there's been quite a few taps and knocks around the house, which it's been really quiet until Barb's come back. So that's kind of strange. But it's not a bad kind of feeling I'm getting. It's just kind of like getting back used to being here feeling. Like there's nothing ominous about it. So I guess that's the good part, is that there's no bad feelings right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing to kind of appease the spirit?
Right now, we haven't mentioned or done anything with Barb. Barb has been just up in the attic chilling by herself. Here's Becca. She just woke up.
Hi.
Hi, Becca. Thanks for jumping on, guys.
Yeah. But do you have anything to add about Barb? Do you want to tell me about the night when all the doors were open?
The second she came in our house, I got burnt.
Oh, that too.
Then I got burnt the next day as well. And all the doors were open.
Yeah.
In the downstairs, like all 6 of them.
Yeah.
I have to say, I love how all of your guys' reaction to this is to laugh. I love it.
Yeah.
Like everybody, even Connie laughed.
We've had our house investigated, Brian, 10 times from the JCU group. So we're no strangers to paranormal occurrences. They like coming here and investigating, and I like the fact that other people get a kick out of it and have fun.
Yeah.
Connie has been on investigations at our house before. Brian's been on a few investigations, so it's fun. I like it.
What's the some normal activity that would happen in your house before the doll?
Before the doll, it depends on the day. There's times when you'll see full body apparitions. There's times when it'll just be taps and knocks.
I feel like you get scratched a lot. Brian
Yeah, I always have random scratches that I have no idea where they come from. It's actually right before Barb got home, I had a scratch on my neck that was in the shape of a V, which if you've been on a CPR investigation, kind of that symbolizing. So I don't want to ruin anything or let any JCU secret out, but you know what I'm talking about.
And then it turns out Barb was delivered on Thursday. We didn't know.
Exactly. So, but really, so the thing is it's usually pretty quiet until a week before an investigation would happen, until a week after. Then things would go crazy. Like pictures would fall off the walls. Like half the doors would be open in the house. You'd hear bangs across the whole house, and then you'd ask, me and Beck would be 2 rooms apart, and I'd hear a loud bang, it sounds like a brick coming through a wall, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" And she's like, "No, I didn't hear anything." So there's a lot of activity that will happen here, and I don't know why. But we have had a lot of paranormal experiences. So
have you guys ever looked into any of the history on the property or the house or anything like that?
We have. So far, we haven't found anything about the house, but I've always had paranormal activity in my family. This was actually one of the milder houses I've lived in. Back when I lived with my parents before, it was even worse than this. It actually made my mom put locks on all the doors, bolt locks, because she got so scared because they kept opening. You'd literally close the door and turn around and it would just fly open. She made my dad put bolt locks on all the doors.
So this could actually be an attachment to you.
That's what we think, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always been activity. That's why I love the first time that all these investigators came in and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't believe," and then they all came out like running and screaming, and I was like, yes, I'm not insane. It's not crazy.
It's crazy though. Like before you got into paranormal, can't it really? I've lived in a home like that. It really makes you feel like you're losing your mind, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah, I was so happy the first time that they came and investigated, and people witnessed what I witnessed, and I was like, wow, I'm not insane. People see these things. Like, I thought I was crazy. Like, and it's so weird because your brain tries to rationalize. Like if you hear or see something, and then like you realize that there's no rational explanation, and after a while you just forget about it until the next crazy thing happens, and then you're like, okay, and then it just keeps happening and happening. You're like, after a while you can't rationalize anymore. So it was great to see that other people were coming in, and I really liked when people would come in. They'd have like a once in a lifetime experience, unless they were in the group, and then they got multiple times of it. But that was just a lot of fun for me.
That's you live in a crazy place when you're having multiple of those experiences. Like people pay a lot of money to have these types of experiences, and there it is happening in your home.
Oh yeah.
And so that's pretty crazy. And so as far as have you like ever tried to contact like a psychic or anybody else to try and get like any answers as far as if it is some sort of attachment to you or your family?
I never have. The only thing I've ever asked was like my parents, like, have you ever messed with the paranormal or like a Ouija board? And they both say they messed with Ouija boards when they were younger. So I don't know if that stemmed from that or some kind of something in my family. I never contacted anybody like professionally to do it. It pretty much as I leave it alone. It leaves me alone for the most part. I mean, it's never really seriously tried to hurt me or anything like that. So I let it do its thing. I do my thing.
Becca's like, I got burned 3 times.
Becca gets hurt. I don't. So.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I don't know. You getting scratched is pretty serious.
Yeah.
So getting scratches, that's pretty serious.
No. Becca said something.
Oh.
What?
You said something.
Oh, I said Barb was here like 2 minutes. Now I got it's healed a little now, but now I got a burn mark on my arm and on the other arm.
And then wasn't there something with like the hot water? You were talking about Barb, and then
yesterday, I stayed home and I took a bath, and I texted Brian a joke. I said, don't worry, Barb will save me. And right when I texted Brian, my bath turned cold and the hot water stopped working. Literally ice cold. No hot water would come out. And I'm like, is this because I said Barb? And then I'm just like, it didn't get hot. So I'm like, well, I guess my bath is over. Literally, when I said, "Oh, Barb's here. Barb will save me," and then it turned ice cold.
Just to clarify, right? With an experience like this, like everyone who lives in a house, they know that there's a hot water tank and only holds so much hot water. How long was that water running before it got cold?
See, I feel like not long because I sat in the tub before the tub was filled. Because I called my mom. Yeah. I'm like, I'm in the bathtub. I'm confused. I'm like, should this be happening? And she's like, did you drain the tub? Did you do the dishes? I'm like, no, I just woke up. It was weird.
See, that is one of those weird things.
Because normally, too, this might be like TMI, but normally I take a bath, then a shower. Uh-huh. And I didn't even take a shower. I just was sitting in the tub, and I'm like, where'd the water go? It was just weird.
And then what were you going to say, Connie?
I was going to say, I remember there was an investigation where out of nowhere, the toilet went bone dry. Someone went to use the toilet. There's no water in the bowl. There's no water in the tank. It just was completely empty.
So the plumbing thing.
Okay, this is so strange because literally Becca texted me 30 minutes ago and she goes, hey, the toilet's not filling up with water. I don't know what's going on. I swear to God. Oh my God. That's
so there's a thing with the plumbing. So, okay.
The saga of Barb.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Look at that.
Barb likes to mess with the plumbing.
This is insane.
That is crazy.
It's just one thing after another with coincidence. Whenever whenever Barb's around, it's like there's so many strange coincidences and just weird, strange things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would just keep on talking to her, saying hi.
Yeah, she's cool. We like her.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw, but she was kept in a store, and Joe was saying that a woman just came in this week looking for Barb and was upset that Barb wasn't there. So she had regular visitors.
Oh my gosh.
And so now she's not getting those visitors, and now she's going to be looking to you guys for some attention.
Oh, well.
Oh.
She can come on over and investigate anytime she wants. We'll leave Barb in her home for her to come visit.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah.
No, thank you for coming on, guys. It's I mean, this saga of Barb, I've been hearing so much about it. And I forgot that Barb was on an investigation with Brian and I back at OSR some time ago.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even realize, and now, so I know. So now I'm gonna get to know Barb at Madison.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll make sure we keep our journal updated with anything that
Thank
happens and make sure that we let you guys know and let Brian
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone's got your paranormal hat on. Again, Brian and Becca, they're
Oh, I
like,
forgot my
We
hat.
have them. It's just
no. The reason I brought that up is Brian and Becca are some of my closest friends, and they're like one of the highest ranks in the Your Paranormal team. Becca's like the manager, basically.
Love it.
So we appreciate you guys. There's more to come. We're gonna have a specific show just for you two coming soon in the next couple months, and hopefully by then the journal might even be full.
I'll wear my hat.
How many paranormal groups have their own paranormal team that actually is haunted, right? Like, so we're
A haunted team.
Yeah, I mean Vicky's house is haunted. We've got your house. We've got it all. So Your Paranormal, we've got it all.
Great group.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
guys.
Hey, thanks, guys, for jumping on.
Bye, friends.
Thank you. Good night.
Man, that was really cool to jump on like that last minute.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So they were at the nunnery, but I didn't get a chance to talk to them when we were at the nunnery. Right?
You had to talk to Becca for a little bit. But
Yeah.
Brian got sick.
Yeah. Wow, that was really cool. So we're getting really close to the top of the hour, and normally we would get really nervous about the time. It has come to my attention that we don't have to be so nervous about the time anymore, at least for now. So,
Okay.
I forgot to mention that earlier, but this is just so cool to have something like this, and for it to like happen like on our show, like it is so cool to have a part of that. And so I know you guys have a deep history with this Barb. And so this is so cool for you guys. I really want to know why did she come back? Why did she want to come back? What does she have in store for you guys?
What does she have in store for you, Connie?
What does she have in store for us now? No, I'm part of it.
Barb never really got to say goodbye to me or Brian because Brian was graduated and I was off in my study abroad program, and the college team was like, yeah, we can't do this anymore, and gave her away. And me and Brian were just like, oh, well, okay, bye, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and go ahead.
It just kind of like came to me. Like, you started Your Paranormal, what, about 2 years ago?
Year and a half, yeah.
Year and a half. So it's like she waited for you to, like, you took your little hiatus away from the paranormal, and then you have built your team. Your team is now pretty well structured, and now here she is.
Yep.
At almost just the right time for you.
It's true. I mean, we were looking for her in the past, and I'm glad we found her now. And we have the proper home, we have the proper team, and we have the proper investigations lined up to give her a proper welcome home. So
Definitely. I actually want to say it was really nice and really brave of them for them to take Barb and until you're able to bring her into your home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that day will come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
What do you think it would take for that to happen?
Time.
Nothing like specific. Do you think that it just needs to be time for you guys to get used to the idea? When I'm not trying to single any specific person out. So do you just need the idea to get used to the idea of having something like that in your home? Or do you think that it's just time to prove that what is attached isn't necessarily negative? What do you think?
I just need time. That's all. I'm good. I just need to make sure that my personal team is A-okay with it. So that's just
right. Time. Okay. Well, with that, so I ordered something for you, and and it was with you getting Barb in mind. And I have to say, when you order stuff on the interweb, you really got to be careful, because you can end up paying a good amount of money for something that isn't what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered I told you in the last show, it was a Saint Benedict crucifix.
Yes.
And I had anticipated it to be like a decent size, like wall hanging, like crucifix, probably not,
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that little beauty.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely beautiful. And it has a little rope so you can hang it around Barb's. But I mean, it's this, but this is it. And and this wasn't like $5, guys.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like I have to disclose that because I was shocked when I saw how small it was. Like, I opened the box. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But so there, I'll do a little bit of something else too. But this is it. And once I saw the case it was in, you know what? Maybe this is kind of meant to be that small.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out. But I have another idea I'm going to do as well. But this is it, man.
Thank you.
And it has I think it's got the prayer in there for you too. So when I see you at Madison, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or if we get together to do scary games, I don't know if we'll get to do it before then, but if we do, I'll bring it next time I see.
Yes.
You. And so, you got exactly what you needed, she said.
Yeah. So Connie, what are you looking behind you for? What do we got going on?
My cats are going crazy right now. They're playing with each other and running around.
Okay. Now, I know we talked a lot about Barb, but specifically for you, I want to dive into your history a little bit. Okay. What do we got? What do we got here for Melvin?
Melvin's making fun of me.
That's awesome. So, have you had any paranormal experiences at your house with your parents, and then your first apartment, and then the apartment that you have now? Can you take us through the history? So, like the parents' house, your first apartment, the apartment that you're in now.
Yeah. So my parents' house, I 100% believe it's like haunted or something's not right with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in semi-older house. It was built in like the 50s or 60s. I don't remember exactly. And it was a fixer-upper when my parents bought it. And so like it was like all throughout my childhood, like my parents bought it when I was like a year old. So like all throughout my childhood and everything like that, we were refinishing the basement. And so like that was spooky, like going through like there's like no drywall or anything on the basement or anything as we were being remodeled. So like it was just spooky looking in general, but then also like weird things would happen. Like you would hear people go up and down the steps. And I remember sometimes like at night, like I would fall asleep on the couch watching TV, like in middle school or high school, like normal kid stuff or teenager stuff. And I would wake up in the middle of the night. And my sister, when she lived back at home as well, she would work late or because she works in a hospital, or like my other sister, she was in college also, and like she'd be getting back from class back late. And I would hear like the front door open, and like I would hear like the locks and everything. And like we have bells on my door from my dog because that's how we like took her outside when we knew it was time for her to go outside. Like I would hear the bells go, like I would hear it open and close, and I wouldn't get up, like look up from the couch or anything. I would just be laying there. Like I'd be like wide awake on my phone. I wouldn't even look. And I'd be ready, waiting for my sisters to be like, hey, like I'm back home. Like, what are you doing still up? Like you should be in bed. I'm like, I'd be waiting for that because that's what they normally would do. Nothing. Ew. And I look, nobody's there. And I would text my sisters and I'd be like, when did you get home? Like the next morning, it was like, when did you get home last night? And they're like, oh, I didn't, like, I just stayed at school with friends or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy though. Like, because I lived in a home that was kind of similar to that. Like we would hear people cooking in the kitchen and nobody would be home.
Yeah, and I would always hear people going up and down the stairs. And like my parents have cats too. But there's a very distinct difference between cats running up and down the stairs and people going up and down the stairs.
Mm-hmm. So then you got your first apartment, yeah?
Yeah, and that was by my college. And that place was haunted, 100%. It was haunted. It was spooky. I've never had sleep paralysis in my entire life. And the first night that I slept there, I had I was terrified. I had really bad sleep paralysis. And I was thinking like, oh, it's just the stress of school starting soon. It's moving in a new place, sleeping in a new place, all by myself for like the first time ever outside of like a dorm room. And you're still really not by yourself in a dorm room. And I had really bad sleep paralysis. And I was like, oh no. And ever since that, almost every single night, I had some sort of nightmare. And one of the last nights that I was there in that apartment, I had this dream. And so my dreams are very vivid. All my dreams are like they're all lucid dreams where I can like control what I'm doing. I can control most of everything that's going around me. And sometimes in my dreams, it's hard for me to tell like I'm actually dreaming and not like in real life because it feels so real to me. So in the dream that I had, I wake up and it was in the summer. It was one of the 110 degrees days that we had this past summer. Mm-hmm. And I had a one window air conditioning in the living room in the entire apartment. So I slept on the couch right by the air conditioning because who would want to sleep in a 90-degree bedroom?
Yeah.
And I wake up in my dream, like I think I'm awake in real life, but I'm dreaming. And I look and I see like my door's cracked. I'm like, why is my front door open? Like I lock the door. I lock the door every night. I check it 50 times because I don't want anything to happen. I'm just like, why is it open? And so like I get up and like I have like my phone in my hand and I go look and I see like these people outside. I was like, what is this? And so I like go away from the door and I go to like my bedroom because I had like kitchen knives hidden around just for like safety reasons, and I knew where one was and I went to go grab it. And I go in my bedroom, and the moment that was when I realized that it was a dream, because there were lights in my closet doors that were open. And there were no lights in my closet at all. So like that's when I realized, oh, this is a dream. But in the closet, there were like bodies hanging.
Oh.
I'm so glad I'm moving in a week. Like I can't do with these dreams. And those would happen all the time.
And then once you move to the place that you're at now,
everything's been pretty calm now. Thankfully, it's an older building. It's one of the older buildings in Cleveland. So there's like a lot of history to it, but it's nothing directed that you can like feel or like pinpoint. It's all just like overall energy of the building. Like you can tell like it's had history. It still has history.
I still love when you first moved into that first apartment. You were saying how things in the bathroom would just get like thrown around or something.
Yeah, everything would be moving on its own all the time. Like I remember one time I was sitting at my kitchen table and I was just studying or eating dinner or something was after class. And all of a sudden I hear this crash in my bathroom. And this was like a month after I moved in. And I was using a red Solo cup for my toothbrush holder because I didn't have one at the time. I didn't get a chance to get one. My toothbrush is on the floor. Like it could not be any more parallel between the bathtub and like the sink vanity. Like it was perfectly in line on the floor. And the cup was right over the drain upside down.
Just, I don't know. That's just crazy.
And the cup was sitting there for like the month. Nothing ever happened with it or anything like that. And I didn't get a toothbrush holder again. I just used another cup. Yeah. Nothing happened again after that either.
What do you think is the significance of that?
It's something with that specific apartment itself, I think, or like that building. There's something in there, and I think it was like its main energy was like in the furnace room area because I refused to open that door. I hated that whole part of the apartment. I remember there were a couple times when I would be like in my bedroom, like getting ready for work or school that day. I would be doing my makeup. I'd be sitting on the floor doing my makeup or at my vanity doing my makeup. And I'd see clothes being pulled across the room on the floor towards like that furnace room.
Whoa.
And like the first couple times I saw that happen, I was like, oh, it's like 6 a.m. I'm really tired. It's just like, I didn't realize that I put my clothes like over towards the door and not like by my bed, like how I normally do, like whenever I change out of my pajamas or anything like that. But after like a few times I saw it and I like saw it move, I was like, I can't wait to move out of this place.
It's a no from me.
What part of Cleveland are you in? I mean, you don't need to tell us exactly where you're at, of course, but like, are you like in Heights or are you like downtown?
I'm in downtown right now. My old apartment was in Cleveland Heights or University Heights.
Okay. Because I actually grew up in Shaker, so I'm very familiar and know those areas. Now it's been a lot of time even going to like Coventry and all those areas. Because back in the 90s, that was a cool spot to hang out. I don't know if
it's still the hot spot with the college kids.
Is it?
Yeah.
They go to like, man, I just remember like Big Fun. I was so sad when that closed.
We would all, everybody at the college would go to all the restaurants on Coventry.
Yeah. My favorite's Mongolian barbecue.
Connie, Joe's asking you, do you think the entity was trying to look into the mirror and it couldn't see itself, and it showed its frustration by tipping over the cup?
Ooh.
That could be possible.
Like you, when you do investigations, sorry, it's the CM. When you do he's laughing. When you do investigations, you're very psychic. You know, like you have those strong feelings. Did you get any, because what Joe's asking is like a real assumption of what you feel was, you know, what entity was there with you. Did you get any like real strong feelings of what could be there with you at the time?
All that I could like feel, I tried to ignore it as much as I could because I just didn't want to deal with the stress of dealing with something. So I was going with like the idea of ignore it and it won't bother you. That didn't work all the time, but it just felt like a very negative presence, and it felt like it's been there for a while, and it was like kind of stuck there, and it just took its anger and frustration out on whoever and whatever.
Yeah.
And
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I was that person that it decided.
Okay. Maybe they can actually make a connection with you.
Well, the spirit may know that you're sensitive to it, and so that might make you more susceptible to having these experiences. Like you go into these places. There's a lot of history in Cleveland and in Cleveland Heights, and if you go to a place where like the person who lived there before you may have never had an experience, but then here comes Connie. She's a sensitive. Whether she wants to admit it or not, she's a sensitive. So here it is. And they want your attention because they know that you know.
Yeah, and the cool thing about my old building was that it was like a U-shaped building, but there were like 3 different doors, so you could only get into like your one building. So there were 12 different units, and so there was like 12 different like families or residences in that building, all from like different backgrounds and everything, all different ages. Like I was one of the youngest ones there, one of the few college students. There was plenty of people that were older as well. And people would always be moving in and out because it was also one of the few locations that did short-term leases.
Ooh. Okay.
So everybody was always moving. There's always new people there, and it was always interesting because you could feel like the background energy of that, but also like how that affected whatever was in my unit.
Definitely could. Now, since you know that you're sensitive, when you go into investigations, what do you do to protect yourself?
I just try to stay grounded. I don't really follow like any specific like religious like prayer or anything like that. I just kind of focus in on myself and know what I know, and I know like Brian is with me. I know I can trust him. If something doesn't seem right with me, he'll call me out and be like, hey, why don't you like sit out for a second, sit down, take a break. I know he'll do that if he notices me like not okay. And then also like I know my limits. I try not to push myself to past those limits of like opening up per se. But it's really interesting like going into locations, and it's kind of like letting myself open up to the energy there and being able to get a feel for it. Because I remember going to the nunnery. That was like my first investigation. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in there and I just told myself to like calm down, open up, let everything happen. And as soon as I walked in, I felt like the old lady watching from the one side of the balcony. We go upstairs, and I didn't read up on any of like the history because I like to go in blind to like these locations just to see how it is first.
Yeah.
And then in the other room on the other side of the big opening, I felt like this tall man with a hat just watching over this older man, like in a suit in the corner, just watching over everything. And here it was like the old owners of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's crazy stuff.
it is. I tried to do some historical research after our investigation to try and validate some of the experiences that we had there. And I reached out to the local historical society, and they have no history on it. They told me to go to the Catholic Church and I'm like, well, I'm not going to get the answers I want from them. So I think we need to keep on doing what we do.
Yeah.
To learn more about the place, because I don't think it's gonna be easy to get any real answers on that location.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about investigations, is like finding out more about the history that you might not otherwise know about.
Definitely.
Because even
what's
like
hidden in the walls.
Yeah, even like with Madison Seminary, even like you could go to the historical society and find so much information. You could do online searches and find so much information. But when you actually go there and talk to the people who like live there, work there, investigate there, they know so much more about the history that's actually true validated history that just the historical society doesn't present, or it's not online, it's not easily found information. And then there's also like what you find during the investigations where it might not be validated by like history books or like actual documentation, but so many people have that same experience, and it's like pretty hard truth with that.
Definitely. And there's a lot of politics can get involved in that too. So it's hard to really break down the truth, and that's kind of what's cool about what we do. And you can get some of those truths, I believe. And once you get that intelligent interaction, and it's just really cool. And so now, what do you guys think is happening? You guys, it's like your tradition to bring other objects into locations that are already haunted. And the only objects I would bring would be equipment, my parapooch, things like that. What do you guys think happens when you bring in things like Barb or other items that might be haunted into a location that's already haunted?
I think it's like going to be dependent on like the object. So like Barb, Brian originally got her with the intent of having something to bring to the investigation, something fun that people can have memories with. And it turned into this iconic doll that has something attached to it. And so like her original intent and her intent now is completely different. But like haunted objects, I think it depends on like what object it is and like what the haunting is supposedly. Like Barb being haunted, she can be feisty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that feistiness.
Yeah,
I want to get to know her. I don't necessarily want the negativity, but I want to get to know her, and I want to see why Spirit chose this doll. What's special about this doll? Why is it a Raggedy Ann doll? Why do so many spirits like this? Is not the first nor the second Raggedy Ann doll that is said to have a spirit attachment. What is it? Is it our intention because of the Annabelle, the real Annabelle that's out there? And so we automatically unintentionally set that expectation, or what?
It'd be interesting to go back into like the history of Raggedy Ann dolls and like how they were originally created, like who thought of doing the Raggedy Ann dolls, who decided to like market them to what they are now.
When I was a kid, there's this I think it was an HBO special. It was a Raggedy Ann. It may have not have been an HBO special, but we watched but it's a Raggedy Ann and Andy movie. I'll tell you what, that shit was pretty creepy. I watched it like as an adult. I'm like, this is creepy shit right now that I'm watching. So if you ever find the Raggedy Ann and Andy movie,
You can find it on YouTube. It's weird and kind of creepy. It's like animated, but it's really weird, to say the least.
Scary movie commentary.
Yeah, we were talking about that, where instead of like, because we're gonna be doing like, once we do more scary games, we're gonna have Real Ghost Hunters review real scary games. We're gonna do the same thing with real scary movies. So stay tuned. We'll have like a camera in front of us, like a camera in front of us, like an IR, just to do some of the reactions, just to kind of cut it up, and then we'll have like the full review. But yeah, Connie was saying that she wants to be the first one to start doing those with me. So, you know, we'll take a weekend and we'll play some scary games and we'll watch some scary movies. So,
guys, see, when I was a kid, we had movies like The Poltergeist. Movies nowadays, no.
I love The Poltergeist. I used to watch it all the time as a
It's like one of
kid.
the scariest movies ever. Like that one scene where the statue of the Virgin Mary walks across the hallway of the hospital. That's some scary crap, dude. I had nightmares about that when I was a kid.
I'm always saying they're here, like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That said Poltergeist. I'm thinking I did just mix up another movie. Sorry, but yeah, that's the reference I made earlier. They're back, or she's back. Yeah, but what was the movie I was referencing? See, now I'm getting tired. Not the Poltergeist. What was that? Oh my gosh, now it's gonna bug me. What was that movie, guys?
Hellraiser.
No.
Okay, I only said that because Aaron said it, and I thought it's not The Exorcist, right?
Yes. No. Exorcist.
Because
But
I don't
remember that in The Exorcist.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google this. It is The Exorcist.
Huh.
Let's see. I do believe. Where is it? Of course, I can't find the image of it. Let's see.
Oh yeah, any like Exorcist movie is like the stuff that we gotta start watching first, Connie.
I remember I read the book that the movie's based off of, and that was spooky. That book was really creepy.
Yeah, I didn't even read that, so.
That I don't know. I can't. I think it was an I think it was like the second Exorcist that I'm thinking of. But I don't know. I have to look into it. It's been a long time since I watched it, but that scene really messed with me for a long time. But the books are always scarier than the movies. So that's for sure. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like Stephen King books, like, oh man, dude, I would I don't know. For some reason, like, I would love driving around and listening to books on tape of Stephen King movies or Stephen King books. I don't know why, but I love it.
Yeah, his books, listening to them is a whole different ordeal than reading them or watching the movies. Like, watching the movies, you have like that comical effect of like, oh, this is like bad CGI or this is bad acting. You can't take this seriously because there's just something.
I don't know. Cujo was a badass movie. I always loved the movie Cujo.
Cujo was good.
Yeah. Guys, it's almost 10:30. I know I've had a long day. I know Brian's not feeling
I'm toast.
he's not feeling the best.
I started to get like super toast at 10. I'm sick. I had some kind of crazy stupid sinus, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Take a hot shower. Get some of that Sudafed in you tomorrow morning. Don't think you'll be up all night. And take some Tylenol. Chicken noodle soup. You gotta have chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yep. If you have access to matzo ball soup, I'm telling you, it's the magic right there.
I might have to make some chicken noodle soup or something tonight before I go to bed. But
that's a good idea. Well, with that, Brian, I hope you feel better. Connie, thank you for coming on, continuing the saga of Barb. I'm so excited to see where else this goes. We're all gonna do this together. I think that we need to do like an update on Barb, like at least once a month or every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be like a little monthly Barb, but we have to figure out something that starts with a B, maybe like the bi-weekly Barb or something like that. I don't know.
The barbecue.
Sit around, have some barbecue.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good at these dad joke things. I can do it.
We can make this happen.
Oh, definitely. And Connie, we're gonna have you on again. We're gonna talk more.
Yeah,
about
Connie.
Barb. We're gonna talk more about your guys' paranormal adventure together. I mean, it's just so much fun to like have you guys all come on. It's just so cool. Make sure to thank the Cunninghams for jumping on unexpectedly like that. That was so cool. Made this show even more special. So
is there anything that you want to tell us, Connie? Is there anywhere that we could, like most people, they've got their own shows or whatever that we want to flow their attention to. What can we do for you? Is there anything that you want us to plug for you, or is there anything that we could do for you?
I don't have social medias really. I'm not active on them. All I can say is shop local, support local businesses. So that's the best thing you can do right now.
There you go.
So all the other people who have been guests on this podcast, if you want to support their businesses, if they have them, that'd be great.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate you, Connie.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been great. I love the podcast. I love watching it. It's so nice to watch and listen while I'm typing away for work.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I'm not the only one that works late during the week. The Wednesday is my only early day of the week. So
that's convenient.
Oh, it was planned that way.
Good.
It's for our paranormal. And
you're the best, Connie.
Yes, Connie. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Connie, I can't wait to investigate with you. Last time we investigated, it was a lot of fun. So thank you.
It's always been fun.
For sure.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. We really appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. And once again, I hope that we helped you guys over this Wednesday, this hump day, and help you slide on into the weekend. And hopefully you have some fun plans and you get to spread some more of that love and positive energy out there, because we all need as much of that these days as possible. So everybody, with that, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, everyone. This paranormal adventure that we're all on. This paranormal adventure that we're all on. It connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Shawn Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He was featured on the TV show Paranormal Survivor that airs on Travel Channel.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mersel.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about
supporting. It's about making Paraunity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community. And that's what the show has always been about.